Manawatu Golf Club is one of New Zealand's oldest and most beloved courses. A host of many prestigious events, in 2018 Manawatu hosted the Horizon Golf NZPGA Championship for a second straight year. The tournament was a homecoming for Palmerston North local Tim Wilkinson, back from the PGA and Web.com tours, and excited to see Manawatu Golf Club add to its legacy.
I had a lot of big tournaments in the past. I had New Zealand Opens and PGAs, probably in the 50s and 60s, I think. Obviously a few New Zealand amateurs, North Island amateurs, things like that, interprovincial championships.
The famed Hokowhitu layout has been revamped since Wilkinson last teed it up here, but the proud Palmy boy is a fan.
I like the changes. There's a few different tees, a few bunkers that have been added over the years, and wind still blows out of the west generally, as it normally has. I haven't played in 11 years in New Zealand, and I'm looking forward to it.
It was wind coupled with rain which greeted the players on the opening morning of the Horizon Golf NZPGA Championship. That didn't dampen former Manawatu Golf Club member Ben Campbell's spirits as he took control in the blustery conditions. Having made birdie on his first hole of the day, last year's runner-up's short game was on song early, demonstrated by this par save to keep his momentum going. Campbell made the turn in 2 under par, but would continue to push for more birdies on his back nine. He'd pick up shots on the first and third before having this birdie chance on the fifth to get to 5 under for the day. The birdies wouldn't stop there. Campbell added another at the 7th courtesy of this long-range putt from off the green, before making yet another on his final hole of the day to sign for a blistering 7 under par opening round.
Yeah, I just started off well. I missed a few greens early on, but was kind of going at a few flags, so it didn't kind of worry me too much. I chipped it really well today. It's probably been the best thing. I've worked really hard probably the last kind of 4 or 5 weeks on this short game, so it was nice to went under pressure to hit a few really good shots.
Ben Campbell's playing partner and recent Victoria Open champion Simon Hawkes continued his stellar season during the morning round as well. He got off to a fast start with birdies at the 10th, 16th and 18th holes and an eagle at the 14th to go out in 4 under par. The Tasmanian picked up another shot at the 3rd before making his final birdie of the day here on 7 to card a 6 under 65 opening round.
Once the sun started to come out, the putter started to heat up a bit as well, so I think I turned in 4 under and then just cruised it around the back with 2 under. I was just trying to keep up with Ben all day, really. He was setting the tone in the group.
The skies cleared, but the wind was ever present for the afternoon field. And after contending for the title last year, Queensland's Anthony Quayle was once again in the mix. Like the morning contenders, Quayle got off to a quick start on his opening 9, making the turn in 5 under par. After back-to-back bogeys at 14 and 15, the Japan Tour graduate bounced back with this par save on the 16th. Quayle was looking to finish his round strong. He very nearly hit the perfect shot into the tough par 4 17th, hitting the flag and finishing inside 10 feet. The birdie putt would slide by, but Quayle made up for it on the 18th, chipping his second to within gimme range to sign for 4 under and be in contention once again.
I think the more you put yourself into that position, the higher your expectations get of how you should perform in that situation. So I guess one of the things you have to try and do is control those expectations and try to stay pretty present, have perspective on what's going on, and if I keep putting myself there, I think I'll work it out.
After day 1 of the Horizon Golf NZPGA Championship, last year's runner-up Ben Campbell leads at 7 under, with Simon Hawkes and Matthew Miller a shot back, having carded 6 under 65s. Anthony Quayle, one of the best of the afternoon in a group of 11 Aussies at 4 under and 3 under. Manawatu's Hokowhitu course was bathed in sunshine with barely a puff of wind for round 2 of the Horizon Golf NZPGA Championship. Ideal scoring conditions for those going out early. And making the most of a rare still Manawatu morning was Dean Lawson. The Victorian followed up an opening round 66 with further birdies on the 1st, 4th and 7th, and another here on the par 4 9th to move into an outright lead at 8 under. A further birdie followed on 10, and Lawson raced to 9 under with a slender clubhouse lead.
I'd like to be 20 in front, to be honest, but be a lot easier. A bit different to yesterday with no wind. Course is playing a lot easier, but all in all, pretty happy with the first 2 days.
5 golfers fired the best round of Friday, a scintillating 7 under 64, including homecoming hero Tim Wilkinson, who needed to go low after a horror opening 18 holes. The former Manawatu junior called on all his experience around the Hokuwhitu track to birdie his final 3 holes and surge inside the cut line. The PGA Tour regular producing a massive 12-shot swing from Thursday.
Yeah, I played a lot better today. I pride myself on having a really good short game, and yesterday was pretty bad. But today I finished really well. I lipped out for eagle on 7 and then made a great birdie, and I really had best wedge I've had a week on number 9 to about 3 feet. So it was a good way to finish.
Manawatu's infamous wind largely stayed away in the afternoon, producing a shootout between Thursday's leading duo, Simon Hawkes and Ben Campbell, who were grouped together. Masterton's Campbell had a dazzling front 9 of 5 birdies and 1 bogey, including this birdie here on the 9th, which saw him surge to 11 under and outright leader. But last year's runner-up struggled to find the cup on the back 9, and Hawkes took advantage. Having bagged 4 birdies on the front side, he went pin hunting on the back 9, this on 13 producing birdie. And then on the par 5 14th, the Vic Open champion found the green in 2 and coolly rolled in his eagle putt to vault into the lead at 12 under. Having suffered bogey at 16, Hawkes recovered with back-to-back birdies to finish and take the 36-hole lead at 13 under.
I woke up this morning, kind of looked outside, saw there was no wind, so I knew there would be guys kind of running up the leaderboard after us. So I just kind of went out this afternoon. It was probably a little less windy than we had yesterday morning, so it did make the course feel a little bit easier. So I just tried to do the same thing I did yesterday, and I just happened to go one better.
Ben Campbell also birdied the 18th to sign for a second round 66 and head into the weekend 1 shot adrift of Hawkes as he seeks to go 1 better than last year.
I feel like my game's miles better than what it was this time last year. So you know, if it doesn't happen this week, I feel like it's getting closer and closer. So it's kind of nice to see a few good results early on, and yeah, it just kind of makes it work even harder.
So Simon Hawkes soars into the lead with a 7 under 64, a shot ahead of Ben Campbell, a 64 also for New Zealand's David Smale. He's one of 5 golfers tied for 3rd at 9 under at the halfway stage of the Horizon Golf NZPGA Championship. Five of the visiting pros at the Horizon Golf NZPGA Championship took the 20-minute journey from Manawatu Golf Club to the province's revered racetrack, Manfield. These golfers are used to driving, but instead of having a TaylorMade or Callaway in their hands, they were strapped into a high-octane Aston Martin V8 with a top speed of 210 kilometres per hour.
Never been in one of these before, so the sound, the feel, yeah, I'm pumped, mate.
Oh, it's a lot faster than all of mine, yeah, and it's a lot louder, but yeah, it should be a good thrill out there.
I'm probably the lightweight of the group, so maybe we'll get a bit more speed than some of those boys.
You can take the boy out of Hamilton, mate, but you can't take the Hamilton out of the boy.
Those corners come up real quick. That's really cool. Man, it's hot in there too, eh?
I was absolutely decking myself in there. It was pretty cool, very cool.
The grip is just amazing, you know. I mean, it sounds pretty awesome as well, but it's probably not so much the straight line speed, it's how much it grips around a pretty tight sort of track.
It's not scary, it's just incredible how fast that car slows down and then how fast it gets around.
It's a different rush to playing golf, that's for sure.
Amazing, amazing track. I want to have a go now.
David Smale and fellow Japan Tour pro Brad Kennedy are self-confessed petrolheads with their own racing car collections.
Love my cars, and just to get on a racetrack, it's just a great experience.
Never been in a fast car before, so can't wait.
Well, I'm not sure if she's going to get it sideways, but it should be a bit of fun.
unbelievable. Just that initial takeoff. Just float, just like it just sucked back into your seat.
Oh, that's living, isn't it? Absolutely fantastic. The brake's incredible. Good track, nice and tight.
It's just the speed they go into the corners. It's just a joke. I don't know you can slow down that quick.
Might have to win a couple of events first before I can afford to buy one of these bad boys, but yeah, I can certainly see myself picking that up as a hobby. That is awesome.
Saturday is moving day, and round 3 of the Horizon Golf NZPGA Championship saw a familiar face plot his way up a PGA Tour of Australasia leaderboard yet again. Canberra's Matt Miller moved into red figures for the day after coming agonisingly close for eagle here on the par 5 fifth, settling for birdie. The two-time winner in New Zealand also took advantage of the par 5 seventh to reach 2 under. Miller was looking to keep the birdie run going here at the 9th, holding his chip from just off the green to make the turn in 3 under for the day. Miller started his back 9 with pars at 10 and 11 before rolling in this putt on 12 to make up some more ground on the leaders. With birdies on 13 and here at the 16th, he'd signed for a 6 under 65 to be 1 shot back heading into the final day. The former NZPGA champ on track to add to January's New Zealand Masters title.
Yeah, that'd be great. I mean, it was my first victory there in 15, so, it sort of holds a special place in my heart. But, and then I guess, if you were to win that, well, then you've got a shot at the Triple Crown, don't you, next week.
Dean Lawson found himself in the last group after 2 classy rounds. However, he'd start moving day heading in the wrong direction with this bogey here at the first. The Victorian would get that shot straight back here at the 3rd, courtesy of some soft hands from just short of the green, giving him an easy birdie on the short par 4. Lawson was looking to make easy work of the par 5 fifth. He hit the green in 2 and expertly 2-putted for his 2nd birdie of the day. Following a bogey, 2 further birdies ensured Lawson was in red figures for the day as he completed his front 9. The China Tour professional started to make up ground on the leaders with birdies on 12 and here on 13 following this fine approach shot. The birdie run continued as Lawson picked up a shot here on the par 5 14th after pitching to a few feet. Lawson would make another 2 birdies on 16 and 17 and add his 10th birdie of the day here at the final hole to get into a share of the lead going into the final round.
Yeah, I come home quite strong, which was good, with a few birdies and everything. So, yeah, hopefully they just go out there and try and do the same thing tomorrow.
Overnight leader Simon Hawkes didn't fare quite as well on moving day. He'd failed to convert birdie opportunities throughout the front 9 before dropping shots here at the 8th and 9th. The Tasmanian's putter ran cold, mustering only 2 birdies as he ultimately signed for a 1 over par round, leaving Hawkes 4 shots back going into the final round. The tournament's sentimental favourite Ben Campbell was the final member of the last group on day 3. He'd make birdies early in his round to take the tournament ascendancy. The 26-year-old picked up a shot on the 3rd and rolled in this long-range putt for birdie at the 4th. Campbell's next birdie would come at the par 5 7th. Some great touch from around the greens would set him up for another birdie, making up for the shot he dropped at the previous hole. The pro from nearby Masterton picked up a shot on his very next hole and made yet another on the 9th to take control going into the back 9. Campbell would collect 9 straight pars on the back 9, signing for a 4 under 67. And be in a tie for the lead with Dean Lawson as he looked to go 1 better than last year's playoff loss.
I feel like I've been tapping on the door pretty close lately, so it's good to be in the lead going in the last day. Today was a bit disappointing not to kind of finish it off, but yeah, 4 under, 4 under, so can't complain.
So local hope Ben Campbell locked at the top of the leaderboard with Dean Lawson on 16 under, Miller poised for more Kiwi silverware 1 shot back. Antonio Medaka broke the course record with a 9 under 62, showing just how low the chasing bunch could go on the final day of the Horizon Golf NZPGA Championship. Manawatu Golf Club was hit by gusting winds for the final round of the Horizon Golf NZPGA Championship, presenting a stiffer challenge for those in contention of capturing the 98-year-old McDougall Cup. Hukawhitu's infamous howling wind threatened to bring the lead group at 16 and 15 under back to the chasing pack of 12 golfers sitting between 13 and 10 under. And Dean Lawson, sharing the 54-hole lead at 16 under, was the first to falter, finding the trees on the par 4 second and marking his card with a bogey to drop back to the pack. Pars were at a premium for Ben Campbell, now outright leader, and he scrambled well on a number of occasions through the front 9 to hold his position atop the leaderboard. While the lead group struggled, those behind had to make a charge despite the treacherous winds. And Anthony Quayle, a perennial PGA Tour of Australasia contender, birdied the 4th to get to 14 under and pitched in close on the par 5 5th to give him this look at birdie. The Queenslander now 15 under and 1 adrift of Ben Campbell's lead. Playing alongside Quayle was Simon Hawkes. The reigning Victoria Open champion had this for birdie on the 3rd hole. That got the Tasmanian to 13 under. On to the par 5 5th hole, and Hawkes unleashed a long iron. Using the wind to his advantage, he reached the green in 2. That left the Q School graduate this for eagle to move into a share of 2nd at 15 under. Following a tap-in birdie on the par 5 7th to join Campbell in the lead, Hawkes then zeroed in on the 8th pin. Another birdie opportunity, this time to snare the outright lead at 17 under. Hawkes then had the opportunity to turn 6 under for the day with this birdie look on 9. The 29-year-old racing clear at 18 under and on track for a 2nd PGA Tour of Australasia title this summer. While Hawkes soared, Campbell consolidated but did have this birdie chance on the par 5 5th hole. The former Manawatu member now 17 under, 1 back. And playing partner Lawson also birdied the hole to get back to 16 under. On to the final 9 of the Horizon Golf NZPGA Championship, and Hawkes got the speed wobbles, having taken 2 to get on the par 3 11th green. His par putt slid by. He'd then watch as Quayle reached the par 4 12th green with his drive and lined up eagle to jump ahead on 18 under. Hawkes' horror run on the Hukawhitu greens continued as he failed to save par on 13 and missed birdie here on 14. Now 2 shots adrift of Campbell in 3rd position. Several groups ahead, Ashley Hall was compiling the round of the day, 6 under 65 in windy conditions to set the clubhouse lead at 16 under. That piled the pressure on Campbell on the homeward 9 that he'd struggled on all week. This an important par saver on the 11th to remain at 17 under in outright 2nd. Also at 17 under was Lawson, who reeled off back-to-back birdies on 12 and here on 13, following this impeccable approach. The Victorian now also 1 adrift of Quayle. Campbell's short game had been exceptional all week, and this pitch into the par 5 14th was another fine example, leaving him with a chance of a back 9 birdie 2.5 days in the making. That lifted Campbell into a share of the lead with Anthony Quayle, who promptly dropped back, unable to salvage par here on 15. Next onto the 15th green was the sentimental favourite, Campbell, who stood over a 25-footer to surge to 19 under. Campbell now 2 shots clear atop the Horizon Golf NZPGA Championship leaderboard with 3 holes to go. With the roars ringing in his ears, Quayle went left off the 17th tee, and by the time he'd reloaded and ultimately reached the green, he'd walk away with triple bogey. With 2 holes remaining, Campbell carried a 3-shot lead, but he allowed the ghosts of last year's runner-up finish to creep into his mind, carding a bogey on the penultimate hole. That gave Lawson a sniff down the last, especially as Campbell sent his final tee shot careering into the trees. The 26-year-old needed to muster something special to ensure he wouldn't be consigned to yet another playoff. A classy Ben Campbell putting the finishing touches on his long-awaited first professional title, winner of the 2018 Horizon Golf NZPGA Championship. A maiden victory made all the more sweeter for having spent 2 years sidelined with a chest condition experts couldn't diagnose.
Yeah, like it was a pretty tough time. I spent a lot of money and got told a few times I'd never play golf again and things like that. And I saw so many doctors trying to figure out what was wrong and kind of never took no for an answer. Like I've worked my ass off to get where I am. So through the injury, I pretty much had to start at rock bottom again. So yeah, definitely it's a pretty sweet feeling being able to finally get the win and yeah, I suppose get the monkey off the back.
New Zealand's Ben Campbell wins by 2 at the Horizon Golf NZPGA Championship. Dean Lawson joins Ashley Hall in second, with Simon Hawkes earning 4th. Anthony Quayle led for a time on the back 9 but settles for 7th alongside Kiwis Nick Voke and David Smale. Ben Campbell, the Horizon Golf NZPGA champion and one of the most popular and deserving winners of the McDougall Cup in modern times.